Hi, I'm Keith Oberfeld. I'm the technical director for Opera Grand Rapids, and I've been doing that since 1984. And for about 3 or 4 years before that, I was the master electrician here at DeVos Hall, working for the union crew. Been probably done about 90 to 100 operas with the company, and I'm one of the longest serving technical directors with any opera company in the country. It's been a fun run. Technical director is in charge of coordinating all of the technical aspects of the production. So rather than doing any one specific thing, I work on figuring out where the scenery is going to hang, how it's going to get loaded in and assembled, where the lighting is going to go in reference to the scenery, work with the lighting designer to find out how all that stuff's going to work together, and how the lighting designer is going to work with the director, work with the director to discuss scene changes, work with the costume people to see how costumes will integrate, and sound and special effects. So basically my job is as a generalist. I put everything together from all the other design and practical aspects of the production. I got started in TDing, which is what we call technical direction, TDing. I was a volunteer at Grand Rapids Civic Theater in the early 1970s and at Circle Theater, and learned lighting design from Paul Dreyer at Civic Theater, and actually enjoyed working in all aspects. So I've done a lot of lighting design. I've actually done a lot of lighting design for the opera as well. But starting in Civic Theater and then expanding to other places, I actually had a 3-year tenure on the West Coast where I was doing lighting for rock and roll bands. I was the lighting director for Blondie and ZZ Top for a couple of years. Touring rock and roll is crazy from all aspects. And then I came back here, and opera seemed a natural place to gravitate after that nonsense. So it really came out of volunteering for local community theater. Well, we've had a lot of very interesting, memorable moments, not all of them positive. I've had a couple of shows that I really enjoyed doing over the years. We did a production of Mice and Men one year, which was particularly good. And we also did a production at Spectrum Theater one year of a Philip Glass opera of an Edgar Allan Poe story. And it's the smaller, more unusual operas that I particularly like. On the exciting standpoint, but not as nice standpoint, in the late 1980s, we were doing a gigantic production of Der Fliegende Holländer, also known as The Flying Dutchman. And we had a rental set from San Diego Opera. And during rehearsal one day, one of the backcloths, the scrim that represented the sails of the Dutchman's ship, caught fire during rehearsal. And it took us about 10 minutes to put the fire out, and 4 Grand Rapids fire companies to come here. And with the help of the IA crew and everybody, we were back on stage and still rehearsing that evening. So that was fun. Not great, but fun. The productions I particularly liked in DeVos Hall are the ones where we've done a lot of our own original design rather than renting sets. And in the 2010s, for a long time, we did a number of shows where we designed all the projections ourselves and did operas primarily with projected scenery. And our lighting designer, Don Darnitzer, did a lot of that work. So those are some of the things that I've enjoyed most. Anytime we've done Don Giovanni, I've always enjoyed it because it's a production that has a great number of special effects in it. At the end of the opera, Don Giovanni goes to hell. So generally we have a lot of fog, special lighting, explosives. Anytime you can do a lot of combination of special effects on stage, it's always a lot of fun. We actually call it pyro or pyrotechnics. And they're explosive devices that are conceived and manufactured for stage use. We have to get permits from the fire marshal. We have to start 2 or 3 months early, get it all permitted, show the fire marshal exactly what kind of pyro we're going to use, and then we have a licensed person who actually does that pyro. There's a couple people in Grand Rapids who are able to do that, but it adds quite a bang to the production, literally. One of the great things about working in opera is that you get to really stretch across all of the different disciplines. You get large orchestras with great conductors and beautiful music. You get to use projections, you get to use lighting to more effect than you do in a standard production. You get to use sound effects, large scenery. So opera is a challenge from the fact that it stretches every department in the theater, and that makes it particularly fun.